Welcome everyone to another of our amazing photogrammetry with drones free introduction. My name is Laurel. I am the Director of Educators in VR, and I'm so excited to share this with you with our amazing instructor. Craig Scott is here. He's been running our photogrammetry with drones program, taking over from Mark Jeff Krunk, and it has been just so much fun, so many wonderful designs and captures that people are doing. So photogrammetry is the art of photo scanning with your phone, taking a phone, taking pictures. You can use a regular camera too, but taking a picture and creating a 3D photorealistic copy of whatever it is you're photographing. Like here we have this beautiful dragon statue that I just absolutely love. And then being able to take that photorealistic 3D model and bring it into VR or augmented reality or mixed reality and mess with it. And many of you have experienced photogrammetry and not known it through Amazon, through IKEA, many other stores now. Before you buy a product, you can actually view it in your room. I want to buy a couch. Let's look at what it looks like in the living room, and how does it fit in the living room, and is it the right color? Let's try floral. No, let's go blue. Let's try black, and see if it works right through your phone or your tablet. That's photogrammetry at work, and we're learning how to scan these things and make it go. Now, Craig is also taking this to the next level, and that is scanning objects with drones. I can't wait. Craig, all you.
Yep. Hello, everybody. Hi. I recognize some of you, and some of you are new. All right. So before we get going, before I play some slides and give you some exemplars of what I've done with my drone, as in 3D models, I want to say a quick hello to each of you. Just give me a quick introduction with you've got a drone and why you're taking the course. I feel it's very important, especially if we're going to all learn together. So Sleeping Darla, I know that you're on our photogrammetry course. Have you any insights or any thoughts on getting a drone? Or you, Remy?
Yeah, I was in the photogrammetry course.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't hear what you asked me. I'm so sorry. Were you
No,
asking whether we were going to buy one?
Well, have you got any thoughts? Because when you take the photogrammetry course, if you guys experience what happened to me, which is I learned a little bit about photogrammetry, but then that thought hit me. Wow, hang on, I've got a drone. Let's just try and take it up to the next level. So I've got Mark Jeff got to thank me for teaching about photogrammetry, but learning and making that next jump to thinking about what the possibilities are with a drone, obviously to get access to areas and heights that wouldn't normally be available. Go on, Remy.
Was that scanned by a drone?
You know what? It wasn't. This is the conversation starter. It wasn't, and I planned to, but I didn't really need my drone for this. But I'm going to be bringing in models that were, if that makes sense. So not just models of things, but also areas, which is exciting. Carmen?
Oh, that's cool.
Well, I haven't used a drone so far, but I do have access to one, and I'm planning to learn. Yes.
Oh, fantastic.
So,
Fantastic. What drone do you know?
no, I don't know to tell you any details. Just that my
Mm.
brother has one, and I was planning to ask for it to have it, but I don't have it
Good.
tonight.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
It
Good
was
luck
just
with asking your brother.
basic curiosity. That's why I'm here.
Yeah.
So, but I'm eager to learn. Yeah.
Well, this is perfect. This is perfect. But good luck asking your brother, because if I asked my brother to borrow his drone, I know what he'd say. Who else we got? Dr. Tessa, have you got a drone?
No, I don't. And where I live, in the middle of skyscrapers in the middle of Manhattan, I don't think I can usually be using drones or not get in trouble. So, yeah.
You could. Yes, you could.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right.
But I have to be really good at it, I think. So
Well, maybe.
it's a bit scary for me, but I'm eager to learn and see what the technology is. Thank you.
Brilliant. So I'll say to you all what I told Mark, the tutor who taught me photogrammetry. He's now going to buy a drone, but my advice to him was actually it's so much easier than you think flying a drone, especially these days with a model I'm going to showcase tonight. It's almost foolproof. That's what I say, almost. But you know what they do? They just build better fools. So, Aaron, You
Yeah.
spoke earlier as if you're familiar with the drones.
Well, I'm doing a lot, some editing inside of Engage, some content creating, editing with different types of sessions, and
Wow.
and some persistent stuff. But my friend here, Bill, he has several
Mm.
drones, and
Oh,
we've been collaborating on working on some projects on how we can utilize them inside of this space as far as doing some stuff.
wow.
We did a project about a week or so ago with a 3D camera. He has some 3D cameras, so we went out and took some 3D stuff and edited and stuff like that. So we're trying to just
Wow.
find some projects. We both come from the tech world. We work together
Wow.
at a community college in the media department. So we both retired from that now, but we keep it going. So
Wow.
he's the main man. When I saw it and
Yeah.
I came in earlier,
Yeah.
First thing I said, well, hey, let me go call Bill and see if he's available to
Yeah.
come in. And there he is.
Wow. You can't see this, but my mouth is wide open when he's telling me about your skill set. Wow. That is super. Whereabouts based are you?
We are. We both of us is in on the Mississippi Gulf Coast in Gulfport, Mississippi.
Whoa. Okay.
So we have a lot.
Wonderful.
He has a lot of space to play with drones.
Yeah. Bill, I don't know if you've got access to be able to speak, but I'd love to know what drones you've got.
I don't know if he got his mic on.
Well, that's okay. Bill, feel free to jump in when you do work it out. Just please, you just interrupt and we'll have a chat. All right, everybody. Who we got over there? That's yeah. Lance. All right then, everybody. So, I'll just tell you a quick. If you want to look at these dragons here, tell you what one dragon that's been replicated. So, a bit of a cheat. This hasn't been done with a drone, as Remy asked me about it here. But I just thought it was a good conversation starter. I won't labour the point on this too much. But there's a friend of mine who works in a local college, and him and his colleagues have got hundreds, I'm sure it was not quite 1,000, hundreds of knives that have been handed in, and an amnesty from local people to the local police force, and they have built this this dragon with lots and lots of knives on the outside. Feel free to come and have a little nose about. Probably a better view here because this is a smaller scale version. But I think this whole idea and ethos that they've got, they plan to put it up. Well, no, they have it up at their local college now for all the school children and the college students who pass by. And if you look at the eyes there, they've got red light bulbs in there, and they plan to get it wired up so it works at night. So it's really going to showcase the whole point of a knife amnesty. Well, I think it's extraordinary. It's forward thinking. I think it's beautiful. There you go. Wonderful. All right. So for now, I'm going to bring in a few slides. I'm treating everybody as if everybody knows nothing about drones, because I think that's probably the best way. Treat everybody in the same manner. So I'm going to bring in a few slides, and then we're going to see some models that I've managed to make. All right. So everybody, I'm going to use my favorite tool in my box, which is my laser pointer. I know Laurel loves it as much as I do. So the prerequisites. Now, obviously, a drone helps. It's advantageous. Now, this is an interesting one where I talk about prop guards there, because I've got the Mavic Mini Pro 4. So that's the Mavic Mini Pro 4, bit of a mouthful. That's got sensors in every direction, and I have yet to crash it. And I've had it 6 months, and I've crashed every drone I've ever had, as you'll see later tonight with some of my videos. but I've got also a Mavic Mini 2, which is 2 generations earlier, that hasn't got the sensors, and I have got prop guards, and do you know what? They are super, really, really helpful. But with the more modern versions of, I'll speak for the Mavic Mini 4 Pro. If you put the prop guards on, that automatically takes the sensors off so they don't conflict with each other. So that's quite an interesting little dynamic there. But as I said, as of now, I've yet to crash the my drone. Now, the reason I've said I've put a memory card with sufficient memory, or minimum 512 megabytes, is because I don't know if this translates to America. I think they call it, well, in Britain we call it Sod's Law. I think it might be called Paddy's Law as well, which is if you find yourself with the perfect scenario for you to take photos of with your drone it will happen that you'll either filled your memory card up or you've forgot your memory card or something. It's happened to me. It happened to me once, and it's never happening to me again because I have a giant USB memory card in there now, and the USB card reader there. We've got an image. We'll come back to that image after, guys, because it's quite hard to see. But if you just want to walk with me around these slides, I'll talk you briefly through them before we get to the real good stuff, which is the models. Would you do me a favor, everyone, though? I like interactivity. You don't have to put your hand up. I just want you to speak if you've got any questions or any queries on what we cover. There's Remy being all kind with his hand up there. Go on, Remy.
I can't see any of the text on there. It looks like kind of jumbled.
Yeah, if you come really close, tell you what, everybody, if you get really close here, it actually does. It's you're going to get quite close, mind you, I must say. So at the top, I don't know, I'll read it to you if you can't get close. At the top, we've got the Mini 2, which I own. Sensor coverage, downward only, which is troublesome. Below that, the Mini 3 Pro. Now, I never owned this. I made the jump from the Mini 2 to the Mini 4 at the bottom. So the Mini 3 is very good forwards, backwards, and downwards. However, what are we missing there? We're missing sideways. So the Mini 4 Pro, obstacle avoidance, omnidirectional. Wow, I could have done with that about 5 years ago, everybody. Wow, that would have saved me a lot of money. But as you'll see, the price as well, the prices are applicable with what you'd expect. Ultimately, you get what you pay for. But as of right now, for me, it's the 4 Pro. I believe there's a Mini 5, but that's untested, and I haven't tried it, so I'll just tell you what I know. So let's zip through these slides so we can get to the good stuff, everybody.
Yeah.
So, Joan, is that someone?
I'd also like
Yep.
to add, I'd like to add that
Yep.
this is really, again, we'll publish this in the Discord, the Photogrammetry Discord, on our public Discord for educators in VR, et cetera, et cetera. If do look at what the sensor coverage is and the different options are, because you may find another brand or another type that looks, and that's the most important point, is paying attention to what Craig is saying about what are the features you need, what are most important, and then you may find something that may be a little bit different, in your area of the world, because people have access in different countries to different things.
What I'm hoping to squeeze in at the end here, I know we started late, so we'll have to run over a bit. What I'm hoping to squeeze in is what happens if you buy cheap. So I've got a good video of that one.
Good.
I know we've all got budgets, I know we have, but ultimately I can only tell you what works for me. So let's get through these slides, everybody. Come on. Drone photogrammetry works by capturing images from different angles and heights. That's the biggie, isn't it? That's the differentiator where I'm pointing, everybody. That's the differentiator between normal photogrammetry and obviously drone photogrammetry. You've got heights. You need heights for certain things. Now, when you take this course, and if you take this course, you'll see overlap. The same concept for photogrammetry as it is for with drones. Overlap with your photos, up to 80% overlap. So that means taking a photo, moving across a little bit, taking a bit more. It's key to everything that we do. The type of camera used can affect the level of detail. So what we'll talk about there is the cameras, the quality of the cameras in the course, and the negatives of zooming in and taking photos, because you just lose all your quality and your models end up looking like, well, I can't swear, but not very good. Here we go. So make sure you capture photos of your subject at different angles and altitudes. You can do straight down. I'll show you an example of an area that I've scanned, which is using straight down images. That's a really interesting one, because a lot of people always think that it has to be like a three-dimensional model. Well, yes, it can, but it can also be used to capture a scene or an area, which I'll show you. If you want to come further down here, if you can, everybody, let's come and have a look at this slide here. I'll wait for you to catch up. There we go. There we go. We're getting there. Okay. Now, these are basic diagrams, but I like them. This talks to me, these diagrams. I like it. So that's bad practice. A few photos every so often around the angles. That's good practice. Lots and lots of photos. You almost can't take enough photos. It's not going to be a negative, unless they're all terrible photos, of course. The same for this one. If you're moving further backwards, that's good. One line there, 2 line further back, third one capturing more and bigger and more and bigger. We don't want to make essentially, the ethos here is the software is good, but let's try and help the software. Let's give the software that turns these photos into models all the help that it needs. Okay, so let me have a look what we're going to bring in now. I think we should bring in, where are we? Where are we? There we go. So if you want to have a little look behind you here, we have a model of a replica of, I don't know what the model's called actually. I mean, the model itself is called Easter Island. But this was taken with the drone from inside my vehicle. I didn't get out on a windy day whilst trying to avoid lots of objects or trees that was very close by. And I'm pretty proud of the result. Feel free to have a little look around, everybody. Around the back. There we go. See the detail here on the rusted metal. Hey, Carlos. There we go. And obviously here's the smaller model here. You know, the I use, there's two options of the Mini 4. You can use the 48 megapixel standard, or you can use 12 megapixel and then zoom in. These, I think, from memory, were just 12 megapixels, so I think the quality is great. Go on, Remy.
You stayed inside for the entire time?
Yeah, yeah, that's it. It almost, Remy. I love you asking that question. Almost as a challenge, to be honest with you. I could easily have got out and made it easy for myself, but I wanted to test myself. When you're in an enclosed environment, or effectively what could be termed as a Faraday cage, when you're inside the car, you do have problems with signal if you want to fly far. But if you're, I was only about 20 yards away from the object. Go ahead, Carlos.
It's more of a question and a quick comment, real quick. So, quick comment.
Yeah.
Well, also with the results, because here I see some distortion. Usually that's caused by light. When you're doing photogrammetry, it's better doing it on a cloudy day because you get an even light source, right? And then the texture map gets more sharper as you go more in, right? Like for instance, here's some distortion. If you actually go in, you get a more vibrant texture map. And my question is also, what do you use to retopologize? Because I know photogrammetry of any kind, whether it's drone, has very, very high topology. So to bring that in here, and these are great pieces. I'm loving this. How do you account? Are these retopologized, or do you just process it in like reality capture and brought it in?
Yeah, that's a good question. The first point I'll say about regarding light is, and again, I don't know whether this translates over the Atlantic there, but beggars can't be choosers. So I had a very small window to take this, and I wasn't going to make a second visit. That was for sure. But so you are right. When I used the Polycam, I used the software Polycam, and there was nothing amazing, nothing special. Turned it into a 3D model, but with Engage, you've obviously got the facility to make it real life size or bring the smaller model in here. Does that help?
Yes, thank you. No, and I love Polycam myself.
It's wonderful, isn't it? Great. Okay, so let's bring in something else. Let's get busy now. I'm just going to get rid of these models for you, and bring in. Let's have a look. And I think we are on. Should be. Let's have a look what this is. Let's have a look. Oh no, that was that one. So it's for next. More slides. Probably the last slides we'll have, but I feel it's necessary to go through them. All right, everybody, come down here. These are the maybe the penultimate ones. All right. So a good tip here is when we're going around corners, more is better. I'll say the same phrase again. I'll probably bore myself to tears with this, but let's help that software. Let's help it. Let's make it easy to triangulate and use its tie-in points. it's really interesting. One of the things that if you don't take care and you don't do your best is one bad photo can make such a difference to the whole 3D model. It's really surprising, but also very frustrating when you've took all your photos and then your 3D model doesn't turn out as expected. And if you're new to it, as I was, it's just so frustrating. But I'm giving you the heads up on that one. Okay, here we are. As if by magic, get rid of any blurry or zoomed ones if these are non-helpful and can ruin a model. So pop everything into suitable software. I know me and the name we reference Polycam. I like it. It's easy and it's good. The quality output is good. Here we go. As I referenced earlier, let me give you an insight into this, guys. The fact that I will mention overlap a lot is in my daytime job. I'm a tutor at a college. I teach welding, welding theory, and hydrogen awareness, amongst other things, and health and safety, which is the least exciting. But I was speaking to one of my students today, and he did really well in his test. And I asked him why. I said, "Why do you think he did so well?" And he said, "Because," he said, "I remember you apologizing for it at the beginning. It's because you emphasize the points over and over. So essentially recap, there is a reason." So while we're talking recap, I will mention overlap. It is so useful. Here we go. Lighting, already preempted that one, I see. You do what you can on the days that you can, but if you can avoid sunny days and use cloudy days, I'm suspecting we have a lot more of them than you do over there. That would be super. Right. This, everybody, when I was talking earlier about an area, so there's some good and bad practice with this little area here. This area is actually our estate where we live. And FYI, that's my house there. And over here, we have a nice train track running past as well. So that's really nice. So good, I'm going to suggest, please feel free to comment, is that to be able to see, I want to say the lie of the land, but for me, the main impressive bit is to see the roads from a different angle. I've got a friend of mine who says using a drone, you just see the world from a different perspective that you would never, ever, ever see unless you've got a helicopter. But bad is I didn't take enough photos here. I think I did see a hand, by the way, Carlos. I think the whole flight, I think maybe took about 20 minutes. And I think there was only about 23, 24 minutes in my Mavic Pro. So I had to do with what I can. So, but also you can see we've got, obviously houses have windows. We've got cars with a shininess that kind of distorted. But I think they got a better, more accurate model with less melting if it took more photos. Go on, Carlos.
Oh, I was gonna say add on and not to kind of like tack onto your presentation. So I do drone photogrammetry for construction sites, and the methodology I would use is in zigzags and then a sphere. But to process larger scales, like for smaller objects, Polycam works wonders. For larger objects, because here we have a lot of what we call artifacts, right? Which is like the data that creates it. To process this, I would definitely recommend reality capture, because reality capture, you can control the point cloud capture and do more detail. You'll get a larger map, and it's going to be more memory, but it'll be a lot sharper, where you could even kind of see the cars, everything. That's if you want to make like 3D models, and this is a good example. For like these large scales, I would definitely recommend reality capture. Just
what I would say, guys, I have to be mindful. This is our introduction, and yet it's a 5-week course, so maybe I might introduce that sort of advanced thinking.
Know that, my fault. I thought this was a one-time thing. Ignore what I just said.
In week 4 or 5, mate. No, it's great. It's really good. You're stretching us, absolutely. But yeah. So for basics, this is probably a decent model. But no, absolutely spot on, Carlos. You are right. So everybody,
hello.
Let's bring in something else.
Hey,
okay.
Question.
Hey.
I had a question.
Yeah. Yep.
Greg.
Yes.
In your model here, when you scale it up, do it lose any degradation or anything?
Yes, it does, unfortunately. That's right. But again, the more photos I would have taken, the better the quality would have been. But I was kind of tied in, like I say, with I'd say entry level drone. You've got that 25-minute window, see. So I could only take what I could.
What was the resolution that you took it in? Was it
Mm,
4, 8,
mm.
16K?
No, I think no, these were photos, not videos.
Okay, okay, all right, yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, that's the other thing you can do. You can take everybody. You can use videos, at least with Polycam, use videos instead of taking photos, where it'll effectively take screenshots from your videos. But my experience is it's never as good as taking your personalized, your own photos using your skill of the angles that
Yeah.
you feel would work
Another
best.
question.
Yeah, go. I'll just bring
I
something in while
noticed
you're
that
talking. Go ahead.
like with the first thing that Novell brought in that was blurry and you
Yeah.
couldn't see it. I found
Yeah.
out in me bringing in URL files that the higher the pixel rate,
Yes.
the better it is. Cause I was bringing them in like in I think 96 DPI, but now I bring them in like maybe a 20. I think it's 2028
Yeah.
pixel rate. So and they're a
Yeah.
lot better. You can see you can see them from further away. The distortion is not there. Just
Yeah,
go ahead.
that's a good call. Carlos, talk and walk. Let's go down the bottom whilst we look at these models. Come with me, Carlos. Come and talk to me.
So I was just gonna give everybody some quick advice that the ultimate photogrammetry drone was already released, and I'm actually waiting to get one. Is the Mavic 4 Pro? It's 100 megapixels. So it's like about 2,800. Like if you really seriously want to get into the, whether as a hobby or do it career wise, like what I do through my company, I'm actually like I have a mini 4 Pro, which is excellent, but the Mavic 4 Pro, it said 100 megapixels. I was like, oh, for photogrammetry it'd be excellent, and digital capture. So
that's a lot of money.
it is. You have to kind of really be into it and invest, but it is an option.
Yeah, but yeah, as I said earlier, with that screenshot that I had up there, the Mini 4 or even a Mini 2, anything like that is a great starting point. So long as we don't start going down the $100 route or the $150 route, that's when I think the negatives outweigh the pros there. So I think if we start talking about starting points, I think what I said probably rings true. Right, story behind this, everybody. Is I see this every single morning on my way to work. And I used to drive past it before I had my drone. I thought, you know what, it's probably nothing amazing, but I want to see at the top. I want like a form of exploring, I think, is when you've got a drone, to be able to see somewhere that you just wouldn't be able to see normally. So come and have a look. This is obviously the larger model. I was so happy I was able to do this, and you can probably tell the detail. This was an overcast day, so it's actually not too bad. And if you come and have a look at this, guys, so I said I'm a welding tutor. If you look closely here, you can see the welds around these chimneys here, which for me was gold dust. I thought it was amazing. But also, can anyone tell me what these white bits are on the top there? No such thing as a silly guess.
Oh, bird poop.
Bird.
You got it. You've got it in one. I think last time I asked this, I had some really strange and complicated suggestions. You know, like from everything from cement to bits of wells, and now it's nothing quite so nothing quite so extravagant. Yeah. So
Sorry.
another one. No, it's great. You're absolutely right. So another. Forgive me for talking a lot, and I do want more input from you guys. Please feel free to ask. I really enjoy that, but I need to get this out. There's an Australian lady. She's a professor in a university, and she specialises in photogrammetry of coins. And her phrase for me works with every model that you can possibly create, be that with drones or phones, really. So effectively, photogrammetry. She said, it's preserving a model that's impenetrable to time. And I like that. I like the fact that this chimney now could be demolished tomorrow. And I'd be sad because I wouldn't see it on my way to work, but I'd be okay, or relatively okay. So whether you're scanning areas, objects, or even people, crikey, I've scanned my daughters to try and, you know, get them at their specific age, because about 2 weeks later they'll look about 4 months older. It's scary, but I like that. I'll always have this model to refer to. I like that. So any thoughts before I start bringing the other models in, slightly bigger models? Thoughts, questions, anything?
Have you ever tried a 360-degree camera with a drone? Or
No. That's a really interesting question. No, I haven't. I wonder how that would work, you know, because the whole point of how the software works, I'm sure Carlos will have thoughts on this, is that it uses tie-in points and it's able to effectively turn that 2D into a 3D. So I wonder how that would work. But no, in answer to your question, I haven't.
Because I've used like a 10-foot selfie stick with that, and it is very much like drone footage, and you can do it indoors without making people nervous.
Yeah. Drone without the drone. Yeah. Go on, Darla. Were you going to say something?
Yeah, how far away were you from this building? Like 10 feet or?
I'm going to say, see the photo that I'm pointing at, that about there. I was about there. I'm a little
No,
girl
I
in
meant the
the car.
drone. I'm sorry, I meant the drone.
Oh, the drone. No, that's good. That's a good question. Well, do you know what? The sensor was going off at the time. So I'm going to say about 4 foot, 5 foot away. Now, it's a really good question. So about that far, I would say. Yeah,
So
about where
how
my
do you
laser is.
get it not to get clipped when it goes around this edge? Like, are you navigating it around the edge?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I'm flying it, but we've got that omnidirectional sensor on mine, which is it's a strange one, everybody, because as good as that sensor is, it does restrict you from getting closer if you want or if you need to than the 4 or 5 feet. So it's kind of a game of chance. But having had my fingers and the bank account burnt so many times by crashing that I like the sensor, and I'm going to take what I get with it. So let's bring in something else now. Hang on. Here we go. Right. So I'm going to delete everything that we've got, and I'll play a video shortly as well. I think we need to play a video. Hang on. To see what bad looks like. Here we go. Oh, no. Get rid of that one. Hang on, everybody. Let's get rid of that. We don't need... Oh, there we go. Actually, everybody, yeah, come over here and we'll play that video I referenced. If you want to see a bit of fun of how not to do things. So we've got something that we'll cover in week 3, I think it is common mistakes, and they are common, and how to avoid them. So this that I'm pointing at, everybody, is a lovely canal near where I live. And I always wanted to have a look, if you can see where I'm pointing to that flange on that pipe. I always thought, do you know what? I want to get my drone under there and have a look. But as you can see where I'm pointing to now, that's how things ended up. Not good. That was the Mini 2 without the sensor. So let me play you a video. There's no sound, but I don't think you need it. So let's watch the video recording of how it ended like that. Here we go. And play. I'll just fast forward it a little bit. There we go. So it's all looking good at the moment. Where's that pipe? There we are. So my aim here, oh, don't want to land in there, is to get as close to that flange as possible and then to start taking some photos. But things start to go awry. Watch this. Oh, there we go. Now, what I had to do there is lean over the canal and grab it with its propellers going round and round to stop it obviously dying in the water. Hence me cutting my thumb to shreds. Any questions on that one? Okay.
So basically you got too close and bumped it?
Do you know, I didn't. That was the thing. And I'll talk about why. So I'm not going to explain why that happened. There are a multitude of reasons why, but I actually didn't touch the pipe. You know, that was the interesting thing. It just started to go haywire. But again, I've got to leave something for the course. So the answer to why that happened is really interesting. Matthew, were you going to say something, Matthew?
No, I can understand what happened, but like you said, you leave it for the course.
I have a question.
Okay. Yeah, go.
I was wondering if you were to bump something and it kind of ricocheted off and went flying at your head or something, like how bad of a situation is that? Like with the one you've got, is it light enough
Yeah.
that it's not going to harm you?
Yeah, that's right. So I know there's a little bit of an issue with America and DJI, who are a Chinese company at the moment. But at least in the UK, I can speak. These drones are 249 grams, which are under the 250 threshold for needing a proper license, and things get a lot more complicated after that. So you're still not allowed to fly over people. But in answer to your question, I think it's been unequivocally proven that 249 grams, you're going to be okay. You know, apart from a cut finger or a bumped head, if that makes sense. Would we like to see a near miss? I'm not going to play it until I hear some yays.
Yay!
Yay!
We love watching bloopers. Bloopers.
Okay, this scared me. I don't crash in this one, but it comes damn close, and the feeling that I had, it wasn't nice. So this was with my video could not be played for some users in this session, but okay. So this is a big wood factory by me. I'm going to speed up a little. So if you can see what I'm trying to do, I've got it doing an automatic circle. So you centralize the object in your controller, press go, and it does an automatic circle. So things are going all right. I've always wanted to use photogrammetry on that, you see, to try and make a mod like that. But as it turns out, it's the enemy, which is shiny, as well as you've got smoke bellowing out of it, which caused a lot of issues. But I was on a nearby train bridge at the time, quite a long way away from this actually at the time. And I was just looking straight down at my controller, and then I seen this. Keep an eye out, it happens really quickly. Look how close a run. So I was quite relaxed doing this. I thought, well, this is nice. Here we go. Whoa!
Okay, for those of you who cannot see the video, it's because it's not allowed in your country. Just letting you know that the video is playing of a factory, and the drone is circling around it. And then something happened which I didn't see.
Okay, maybe if I stop, I'm trying to pause it next to it. Wow, that was a close run thing.
Oh, so it was a pole that you almost hit or something.
It was an enormous pole that
Okay.
This was with my Mini 2, so it didn't have the sensors of my Mini 4. Have another look. It'll happen from left to right. I've slowed this down, and you can actually see the width of the welds. Oof.
Oh, there. Whoops.
That was close.
Near missed.
Yeah, yeah. Here we go. All right, so let's get some models and then people. Let's have your comments on these. Okay, snapshots. Here we go. Drones, and we have. Okay, next one. Bit of a. Why are we doing for time? We're doing all right for time. Bit of a cheap one because it wasn't done with the drone, but it's impossible to be done with the drone. But using a drone gave me the insights into using the images to make this. Come over and have a look at this, everybody. Who wants to have a guess, apart from those who were here last time, on where this is? Brent, I think you might have been here for the last one. I think I'm not sure, but like I said, any thoughts? Let's again, no such thing as a silly guess. Where do we think this? I'll give the game away here, everybody. Where this crater was made?
I mean, it looked like it did look like a crater. Is this actually a moon? A picture of the moon?
It is. Somebody said moon. Who was that?
I did.
Carmen? Yeah. So this is called Giordano Bruno crater on the moon. So again, obviously not done with the drone, but this is what learning photogrammetry with drones did for me, and I'm sure it'll do if it opened your mind to thinking, well, hang on, there's plenty of other images out there. Well, let's see what we can do. I know Mark, for example, the guy who used to teach the photogrammetry course, tried to use images of an asteroid. But it didn't really work out. I think there probably weren't enough images, but I think this is brilliant. I think this is just something else. Super. Photos are good, models are better. So let's bring something else in there. Okay, so if we want to turn round and have a look at now, what you see in that image there is a castle in it's like kind of like the next town or our village essentially, and that is the model that I made with my drone. Who wants to go and try and walk up the gangway and see what happens? Oh, there you go. Anyone else? So, excellent. When I scanned this in my photogrammetry course with Mark, what we were trying to work out, everybody, was, can you see what I'm pointing at there with my laser? What do we think they possibly are? Any thoughts on that? What about you, Brent? Or what do you remember from last time?
I don't remember talking about that last time.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll tell you, unless you're going to guess, it's actually nothing so amazing as what I was hoped. It's actually Christmas lights that weren't taken down 6 months ago. It's amazing the fact that they've come through, isn't it? Wow.
I was going to get some kind of a chain or a rope or something, but yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping. Exactly, yeah, something castle-like, you know. And here's the smaller model here. There you go. Good timing so far. Okay. So this would probably be a good juncture before I bring in my next model. Who was it? Who's from Manhattan? Who's talking about the skyscraper? Who was that?
It was me.
Where's me?
Me.
Ah, yeah, Doctor. Yeah. Wouldn't you? I mean, like I said, it's probably not possible, at least not legally. But isn't part of you that would like to see these skyscrapers from above?
Incredibly exciting, and I would love to do that. But I also have to check the legalities of it first.
Of course you would, yeah.
I have to check that, yeah.
Yeah. It's worth bearing in mind, though. You never know, you know.
Yes,
imagine bringing that
I'm going to look into it now. I'm excited actually to look into it.
Yeah.
I'm inspired.
Super.
Yeah.
Super. Well, that's
thank you.
No, thank you. That's the aim of tonight is inspiration. So why don't we bring something else in? I think we've got about 4 models left, everybody. Please feel free. Oh, here we go. I think you like this one. Okay. There's a serious element to this, which I didn't realize until I did some research on it the other day. Why don't we have a look at this nice young man? There we go. Thoughts? Darla, did you see this last time? I'm coming to you because you respond well. You talk.
Oh yeah, I did see this last time. It's really cool. Is this at Disney or something? Where is this?
No, and forgive me, I know I make it sound like I live in some sort of dreamland, but this is kind of like a museum near where I live. But the serious element to this one, guys, is, and I didn't realize this, is you see the Speed Kills poster next to it. This was built in memory of a local young lady who died in a car crash. She wasn't speeding, the other person was. I thought it was a lovely thought. And here's the smaller version here, which we can. So this was done with the drone. What I'm surprised at here. Go ahead.
The quality from it being so big to shrink is much nicer than even having a really good camera and taking photos of something very small. So I'm very impressed at how this, if you think of it, a toy that you scanned is very high quality.
Yeah, That's
Yeah,
a
very
really,
impressive.
really good observation. Thank you. Well, I take no credit for that at all, other than just sending the drone to do its thing. But what's really impressed me with this is, if you didn't know already, our enemy, as I don't know if this is a word, photogrammetrists, is shiny or reflective. And this car, it was overcast, but this car's got, it's normally shiny wheels, really ruins it normally, but it came out well. I'm really, really happy about that.
The overcast definitely did it. You had the ambient light. That helps a lot.
Yeah.
What about, so I know that's, you might have already talked about the beginning or something, but
No,
obviously Gaussian splats are the newest thing. It can catch this, even with reflective services, much better. But I know Engage doesn't have Gaussian splats, the ability to load them yet. I don't know where.
That's a great point, and it's something that me and Lorella are looking into. So Mark, the former tutor, did splats with phones, but he used the Arrival Space platform, which had its issues at the time, but I've got good knowledge to know that actually those, I think it was mainly audio issues, have been resolved now because they've upgraded it. But that's something that I know Lorella's is interested in doing, but definitely splats, with the detail on any, essentially you can make not a model, you can get a splat out of anything, like you say, anything shiny or any of the usual enemies. But yeah, that would be, that would be interesting.
But it's the same data input into both, so you can always rerun it using the same photos. So
yeah. All right, come up here, everybody, and take a look of this one. This is more of a personal favourite. The actual model, and while I bring it in, isn't ideal. It was a sunshiny day, but considering of how large it is in real life, I'm pretty proud of how it turned out. So this is called the Angel of the North. It's a sculpture up in a place called Tyneside in England, in the north of England, and it's as you can see there, it's 54-meter wingspan. No, 54 meters high. Is that wingspan? 6.2 meters. No, that's right. Yeah. This model is legendary in the UK, and you've got your little version down here. So for scale, if you can see where I'm pointing my laser, everybody, for scale, this is where children slide down. This bit here. And if you want to get really geeky, anybody, if you want to come and have a look at this, you can actually see the welds where this big, thick steel has been joined together. That's called a multi-run. I think there's more than 3 runs there welding it together. So to be able to see actual welds on a model so huge, I think is phenomenal. Can you see that there? See that, Brent? Just where I'm pointing. I'll move my laser now so you can see it.
Yeah, that's it. Nice.
Super. Yeah. Unbelievable.
If I can about this for your course, do you have these models side by side with Gaussian spots some way that you teach how it could be done or will be done soon?
Not splats. Yeah, I know to do splats and I do splats, but it's not anything that I'm teaching. If you meant that specifically, or do you mean just access to these as such?
I meant it more as the course that you teach.
Right, yeah. No,
I have to report back to the director of our program that has course and about your course.
Yeah, I think you've just prompted me. I think we're gonna have to bring this splats workshop in, aren't we? It's just too good an opportunity to miss. Yeah, really good that, Matthew. Really good point. You've prompted me now. Okay. And finally, my last model, everybody, if you want to just come up to the front here, this isn't perhaps as amazing to you, but this is well, actually, you're going to tell me what it is. It's mound that, again, I pass every day on the way to work. And do you know what? I've still never been to the top of this, but I've got a motorbike, an off-road motorbike, and they regularly go up here. Good and bad. Good, the fact that I'm able to see finally what it looks like on the top. Bad, the vegetation. vegetation is so anti-photogrammetry, but you know, you do with what you can. So what do we think this, has anyone any idea what this mound, it's not soil, how this mound came to be or what it might be? Or it's near a mine, that's my clue.
Yeah, I was going to say it looks like quarry dust that they, piled on top, and then they left the top flat to use. In this case, it looks like a bike course.
Very knowledgeable, that's right. Otherwise known as a slag heap. But that's, really knowledgeable there. Yeah. So again, not that great. The trees have come out quite poor on the top, but for me, like I was referring to Dr. Atessa before, it's a strange human instinct, isn't it? Where you see something, I just thought, but I want to see what's on top of there, and I couldn't normally get there. So just to be able to just take your drone, photos are fine, but they're not, are they? It's models are super.
That's true.
Do you know?
That's absolutely true.
Yeah.
Do you know if this actually is a bike course? Because a lot of this looks more like runoff than it does look like bikes.
It is, yeah. I do see, but if you come over here, Matthew, come and have a look. You can probably see the track. I get envy, you see, because I do see other motor lads on motorbikes, and girls probably going up there. So I've seen them up there regularly, and I'm jealous. So let me finally, and we can have a quick chat as we're good. Timing's worked out really well. Let me bring in almost all of the items. It might go a bit fuzzy, everybody, just because this is quite big in size. There we go. So we've got all or most of our models here, everybody. There we go. Do you know what I could do? I could ungroup them and make them, share them. So if anyone wants to pick them up, I'm just leaving them there for you. There we go. There we go. I'm just going to replicate a few. So those of you, I think it might be quite difficult if you're on desktop. But if you see the purple circle, can anybody pick one up?
It's a white circle for most people, or purple or white.
Okay.
And you hold down your you grab it by pressing on your controller or your left mouse, and you can pick it up and move it around. You can make it bigger and smaller.
Oh, wow. Darla's got the castle. Matthew's got the estate, I think, is it? Yeah. Aaron, is that you with the Hulk? A phrase I never thought I'd say that often.
We don't have permissions, I guess, to select and copy them. But I'm seeing a purple circle, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm not able to.
There you go.
No, we can't duplicate them. You can just grab them and move them around.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There you go. That's it, Dr. Assessi. You've got the Gaboin chimney there. There you go. So we are done. I hope well, one person was inspired, so that makes my night. But feel free to ask any questions. And Laurel, I think you're the lady for the facts when we start, etc.
All right. Well, I want to. Everybody's having fun. This was amazing, Craig. I want to see. Does anyone else have any other questions for Craig?
I'll reach out with an email if I have more. So thank you very much.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Let us know. Matthew. You can ask questions in our Educators in VR Discord. Darla, you had a question. Just shout it out.
I was wondering if birds are curious about your drone.
Yep, I've nearly lost one multiple times, for sure. That's a really good question. Yeah, they hate drones, and I totally understand why. I would if I was a bird. But no, yeah. That's a good call. I just wanted to see, have we got an invisible video? I thought we had invisible video here. No.
Invisible?
No. Okay.
I don't know what
I thought we
invisible
had
video is.
no, I thought we had a screen, sorry, invisible screen,
We
but we
do.
don't. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, I'm playing a video right now.
It's not in the big one. It's in the smaller one. There is. We don't have
Yeah,
one in here,
yeah.
but you
That's
can.
no- it's,
But you can have one.
it's no big deal. Yeah, it's all right.
Okay. All
Okay.
right. Is anyone else have any questions or comments?
Mr. Bill, I'd love you to get in touch and to tell me what drones you got, even if it's through Discord or whatever.
Yeah.
I'd love to know.
Yeah.
Thanks,
or you
Aaron.
can use our Educators in VR website. We have a contact page, and I can pass it on to Craig without any problem. All right. Again, you can ask him questions in our public Discord. You can ping us on social media and whatnot. The Photogrammetry with Drones course is a 5-week course. It's on Fridays, starting July 11th through August 8th. It runs from 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. UK. I'm going to stop at those times. You can look it up the rest. And all of that information is on our website at educatorsinvr.com. This course, normally it runs for hundreds of dollars, and we're offering a special deal. I'm calling it our tariff discount, our pre-tariff discount. Anyway, it is running for 5 weeks for only $80 US dollars. Wow. Again, this would normally be several $100s, but we're doing a special thing because this is the first time that this has been taught in virtual reality that we know of. And I'm so excited to have Craig do this. What an opportunity to take this to the next level. Now, if it will be held in Engage XR, if there is enough demand, we can have at least one of the sessions for Gaussian splats. We can have at least one session in Arrival Space, but it will be held here. Therefore, like most VR platforms, they don't support Gaussian splats. That's a limitation of the platform. We're trying to get Engaged to support it, and hopefully they will by the time this starts July 11th. I can't believe July is like almost here. So. Yeah, so tell your friends, neighbors, and grab the link and share it out on your social media too. We really, really are looking forward to this because this is groundbreaking, and the educational opportunities to have, to bring a drone in. Remember the days of just trying to get a VR headset into your classroom? Having a drone, a quality drone brought into the classroom, and working with students to come up with ideas to photograph and preserve things, as Craig said, historical objects and places right in the community is very, very exciting. Wouldn't you like to have learned that in school? So
yes.
Yay. All right. He's got an image up there comparing. So sign up as soon as possible because we're doing this as a real intimate experience. We're keeping the numbers down really low so that you get hands-on experience with what's going on in learning process. Okay. So educatorsinvr.com. End of sales pitch.